Hello everyone, it's Amanda Watson from MrsWatsonEducation.com, my personal blog where I share with you, other educators of the world, some tips and tricks on how to be, how to make this life a little easier. So I was asked to do a quick tutorial series on the different ways that teachers can share documents and assignments with students and get them back. And one of my favorite apps is Nearpod. Now this is not going to be a tutorial that shows you all the ins and outs of Nearpod because there's so many things Nearpod does. I actually have linked in the document I'm putting into my blog and sharing for this whole tutorial series, the actual official Nearpod YouTube channel that has really great in-depth videos for each of their features they have. So like I said, this is not a whole in-depth thing about Nearpod, but I just want to show you a little bit about what it can do so you see that it's a viable option that you might want to do. So before I get into Nearpod though, I do want to say it is a paid for app. There's different levels. You can do a free subscription but you're not able to do all the features that I might be showing you quickly here. I'm so thankful my county actually has paid for this for all students and teachers to utilize, and it's wonderful. I think there's another one called Pear Deck that's very similar, but this is just a really wonderful app. I've gone to several trainings provided by the county on how to use the features on it, and they are doing so many updates for this 2020 COVID-19 era of teaching. I actually had one of my colleagues in the PLC last week. She uses Nearpod a lot, and she was telling me some of the features they updated and she's using, and I just was blown away. So I highly encourage you, if you like this video and what I'm showing you Nearpod could do, to go further and look into more tutorials. Okay, so this is when you log into Nearpod as a teacher, you're going to have a library, and this is my library. You can see all the different assignments I've created as Nearpods do through the time. I'm just going to show you quickly. If I go in to look at this one, oh, I don't want to preview, I'm sorry. This is what it would look like for students, so let me show you that. Once it starts loading in, it would actually be bigger. They'd only see what's on this one part of the screen, and there's places for them to take notes, but they'd be able to go through each slide. You can see I have a voiceover of me talking. And you did slide by slide, and they could see and complete different activities, which is pretty cool. Okay, so let me go back to my library, and instead of hitting preview, I'm going to show edit, and I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like once it's completed. And this is just one of my Nearpods, right? So I have the different slides. So each little tile is a different screen that they will click through. You can adjust and move the tiles around, which is nice. You could add videos. So this is like a YouTube video link that's in there. There's different features there that you can use, and it's very, very simple to just add details, delete slides as you go through. I love it. There's so many cool features. So let me go back and show you briefly just how you make one from scratch, like very simple. Like I said, I'm not going into all of the details of Nearpod in this tutorial. So this is a blank one, what you'd look like when you get started with a new one. And you could see all the different content options they have. BBC World Ride videos, Sway, Flock Cabaret. I've heard great things about that, especially for the upper elementary. FET Stimulation Labs. I'm a science teacher. We love these, that they're interactive there. You could add videos, YouTube content, stuff like that, slideshow. This is where life gets easy. So if you already have a PowerPoint or a Google Slides document that you are using to teach from, you can just import it from your drive into there, and it's going to make each of the slides that you have in your presentation a separate tile, like I showed you before, that you'd be able to move around, and you can do voiceovers on them. So that's really, really cool. Other activities, and these are where you get a lot of collaboration. Nearpod is so great for student engagement and collaboration. Versus just doing assignment. It brings students together. There's places where they could do collaboration, where they could all kind of like, what's it called? Where there's like pin boards and stuff where they could they could all write answers. They could like each other's answers. So it's really, really cool. And it provides you feedback. You can get polls. You can do quiz questions as a teacher. So what you'd have on a worksheet, like an ABC question, open-ended questions for them to write their responses there. Draw out features. They can mark up graphs or pictures, and very nice activities. So I'm not going to, like I said, show you all of these right now. Very little. I don't have a lot of time, so I want to make this a short and sweet video just about what it is, but that's kind of some of the basic features of a Nearpod once you go in there. So let me show you the next thing. So if you made a Nearpod, so if I'm going in here, right here, I made this Nearpod and I want to share it with my students because that's kind of the whole point of this tutorial. You have two options. You can share it with students in live participation mode, and that's where you are on your computer controlling the pace of the Nearpod, the slides. Every time you push a slide forward, it will push forward on all the students' devices. Self-paced is where you send the Nearpod out and students are self-paced. They can click through the slides. It doesn't mean you can't be teaching at the same time and say, okay, you should all be on slide 1. Don't click forward until I say. You'd have to have trust for your students to do that. I have found, though, in the time constraints of a 48-minute period during COVID-19 where you have no idea all the questions that might come up and the things you're going to help out with, I found the self-paced is easier for me right now than live, because that means if I get to the end, I can tell my live students, okay, now finish the Nearpod, my live students, that's what we're doing at counting, are my digital learning students that I'm teaching at the same time. I could tell them, okay, in the next 5 minutes, complete the Nearpod on your own pacing. There's a few extra questions I have to start cleaning up with my students in class here. So it gives them something to do until bell to bell, even if they're home. Okay. But it's student paced and it's really nice, and you can assign it for homework. They don't need the teacher there to be moving the slides forward. So when you assign it, whichever way you click, it's going to give you a code. And that's going to allow students, they could go on nearpod.com or just open the app, type in that code. There's no other login required. They don't have to create an account. It's going to go directly to the Nearpod you created. They don't have to search for it or find it anywhere. It's very user-friendly in that regard. You can also just get the hyperlink for it, so you can put that into your Google Slides that you're sharing with students, or your Teams or your Canvas, whatever you're using. You could just put the hyperlink there. They're also having now Teams integration, Remind integration, which is really, really nice. You could change the deadline. One of the big issues though with Nearpod, and they might be trying to change this in the future. I know I saw a article where they're doing a lot of cool updates for the future. I forget if this is one of them. But once you create a code, if you go back and edit and be like, oh, there's a typo there, you're going to have to redistribute the code because the codes will change. It won't at this moment in time. Once you share the Nearpod, you can't edit it and have that same one shared. You have to share another code or another access link. So that's a problem there, but I love it. Now, how to get feedback from students. So once they complete the Nearpod, you just go into the Nearpod, into those ellipses at the top, the 3 dots, and go to where it says, reports. And the reports are going to give you, and I wish I could show you because I have student names, so I have to keep their privacy. But in reports, you'd see the overall participation. You can see for each student what they got on different answers, their grade, if it was a grade, however it was set up. So it's really nice and easy to get the data feedback for the assessments to add into your gradebook if you were making it as a formative or a summative assessment. So that's just a little bit about Nearpod. Like I said, I love it. It's very nice. It does have so many more features though that I can't even start telling you in this video right now for the length of the time I have. So I encourage you, if it sounds like something you like to do and you have access to it in your county, please look into it. Look at some training videos because it is amazing. Hopefully this helps. Thank you so much.